Hi folks, so we're going to look at 2 carbohydrate tests today. First one we're going to look at is testing for glucose, which is simple sugar, and the second one we're going to look at is testing for starch, which is a complex sugar or complex carbohydrate. So the Benedict's test uses this reagent. This is Benedict's reagent. It's got a lovely blue colour, you can see. And in all of these tests we're looking for a colour change. So I've got 2 solutions here, or 2 samples here. I've got some biscuit, and I've also got a glucose solution, which is a liquid. I'm going to show you how to perform the test on both of these. So the first thing I've got to do with the biscuit is I've got to crush it up and get it into a liquid form. So I'm going to add a little bit of water, and then I'm going to squish it up into there, and I'm going to make a paste. I don't know how well you can see that. A little bit more. And then you'll notice there's quite a few bits in it. So we're going to use a filter setup, just like you've used before. So we've got conical flask, we've got a funnel, and then we've got a bit of filter paper. Fold it in half again, and then that just goes into the funnel. And then I'm very slowly and carefully going to pour my solution, slowly and carefully, into there. Add a little bit more water, and I'm going to let that filter through. Now you notice I've got a few lumps in there, so I'll probably have to refilter that again. However, in true Blue Peter style, there's one I prepared earlier which I'll show you in a minute. So that one is now got a, get that out of the way, a solution in there that I can use to test. So you'll see at the bottom there I've got my liquid. It's a little bit murky, but it's not a big deal. So I'm going to pour that into a test tube, and I probably need around about a fifth. You don't need a lot of this. And the idea with these tests, because we're looking for a colour change, is actually the less you use, the better results you're going to get. And then I'm going to put some of my Benedict's reagent in here. Now again, just a few drops of this should do. I'm going to be a little bit generous, but 10 drops should do. Give it a little mix, and then what I've got over here, I've got a hot kettle. It's just boiled, so it's around about 80 degrees C or more. I don't want it any cooler than that. And I'm going to make a water bath. Now you could use an electric water bath with a thermostat, and that will keep the temperature constant, but for the purpose of what we're doing, this is absolutely fine. So that's Benedict's reagent in my solution into the water bath, and that's going to go in there for anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes, and I'm looking for a colour change. Now I can do exactly the same for this one, but this is my liquid one, and again pour my sample in there, Benedict's reagent in. Again I'm using relatively small quantities, and if you notice the Benedict's is a lovely clear blue solution, and I'll pop that in. There's just a little bit of a lag on there, but I'll pop that in as well. So 2 conditions: Benedict's solution and heat. All right, specifically 80 degrees C or more. So that's the first test for glucose. Now, second carbohydrate test we're going to do is testing for starch. And again, you've seen the setup with a liquid and also with a solid. So I'm going to use the solid one here, so we can get some good results. But this time we're using iodine solution. Now, a really common mistake that students put in the exam is they talk about iodine. Iodine is a solid. Iodine solution is a liquid, and it's the iodine solution that we use. So again, I've got a little bit of bread in there, and I'm going to mash that up into a pulp so I can get a bit of liquid. Squeeze a bit more in, and I'm going to reuse off camera back again one of my conical flasks, stick a funnel in there and get myself a fresh bit of filter paper, and again fold it in half again. Hopefully a little bit more gentle this time. I'm going to pour in my squidgy bread solution. Not perfect, but a little bit better. And then I'm going to prepare my iodine solution test. So I've got a little spotting tile. Again, I'm keeping the volumes of liquid really small, and I'm going to put in a couple of drops in one and a couple of drops in the other. And the reason why I'm doing that is so I've got like a comparison, so I can see what it looks like without any of the solution. Taking its time, isn't it? In fact, I'll tell you what we could do whilst we wait. Another way, this is kind of a bit of a cheater's guide. This is what I use. I've actually got a little bit of the liquid in there, so what I'm going to do, because I'm impatient, is I'm going to gently suck that up without any bits of bread. So I've got a bit of a cloudy coloured liquid, but it'll be all right. And I'm going to put a few drops in my first well. 1, 2. Oh, that's good. Straight away that went. I don't know how well you can see that. I've got a lovely blue-black precipitate. Sometimes people describe it as purple. So it's gone from orange, brown, that's the iodine solution at the beginning, and it's turned bluey black, or a purple colour in the presence of starch. So that's good, positive test result. If you go back over here, now this has only been in for about 3.5 minutes, and you can already see quite clearly, in fact both of them, so this was the biscuit, and that's gone a greeny colour, and this one over here is the classic Benedict's glucose result. It's a brick red precipitate, or brick red colour will do. So if I hold both of those up and just do a final comparison, so test for glucose, we've got Benedict's solution, Benedict's reagent, in a hot water bath, so heat 80 degrees C, and we leave it for around about 5 to 10 minutes, and we get a colour change anywhere in the spectrum from green up to brick red. And that's your 2 carbohydrate tests.